And we are up. Well, good morning. I was waiting for you all to arrive, so I'm glad you're here. I want to welcome you all, whether you're here in person or whether you're watching it by streaming. For those that don't know me, you should by now. I'm Lynn Hamilton. I'm the lead instructor here at Samson Properties. So today's class is going to be geared towards, okay, I've finished JumpStart, kind of, sort of. Now what do I do? Where do I go from here? So that is where we're going to be jumping off and jumping into. So with that, that's what we got up ahead. So as always, I want to give a big shout out and a thank you to Cardinal Title. They are our key sponsor that make all this come to be. So if you find any value whatsoever in anything that we've done or that we do, please go back and thank Cardinal. Let them know that you are finding great value from the education, and obviously we want you to go to them and let them work your files for you as well, because I've done some snooping and they're actually pretty darn good. So go check them out, and if you're looking for extra bonus on your challenges, send them a thank you note. Just a couple. How many points? Just a couple. But do send them a thank you. And again, they're the backbone of what helps bring everything to be. Yep, Cardinal. Mm-hmm. So a couple of quick suggestions as we always get started. First off, the front page of your handout, which should be in the Cardinal Nest for you, is designed to be your agenda, if you will, and your checklist to check off what tasks have been completed. As always, I encourage you to put your stuff in a 3-ring binder. Who in my class has got their 3-ring binders with them today? Yes, I'm seeing binders pop up. So again, put them in there. The reason for that is you are going to be building out your own custom training manual, so to speak. So that is why we're going to encourage you to do that. That way, when you go to meet with either me, your coach, your mentor, your broker, whomever you're going to be meeting with, bring your binder in. They can see what you've gotten done, what you haven't gotten done, where you're having a stumbling block with or a challenge with, and they can help. And so your time with them is more effective and more efficient as well. As always, the page numbers of the handouts coincide with the page number of the slides. So in case you get sidetracked or have to step away, you can come right back in and know exactly where you've left off at. So as a quick reminder, some couple class rules. We want to make sure you've got your phones off or on silent. Even if you're watching remote, shut them off. I know I can listen. Didn't know that, did you? All right, so we want you to be open to some new ideas. These are things that you may or may not have heard before, but we want you to be open to some new ideas. And I always ask, may I have your permission to be blunt and honest with you? Tell you what you need to know and not always what you want to hear. Give me a thumbs up. We good? I'm seeing thumbs up. Thank you. Always hear my heart. Forgive my mouth. Usually I can catch it and warn you if something's going to slip out. But I remind you that you've given me permission and we're good to go. You do have to laugh at my stupid jokes. There we go. All right, we got them going. And I do want you to learn something new and have that aha takeaway. So at the end of class, I want you to pause before you shut down and run out. What was your aha? What was your takeaway? And if you ever attend live with me, you know that we pass the mic around. We want to hear your aha, your takeaway. And if you're online watching it, you can shoot me a quick email with what your aha, what your takeaway was from this particular class. But more important, I want you to implement what you've learned. Because this information, whether it's from me, Donnie, Sarah, David, anybody that's out there in the world that does some fabulous training, the stuff is no good until you decide to put it into action and make it part of your business, part of your foundation. So put it into action, and there you have it. Those are the basic class rules. All right, as always, a quick reminder that we do have the Q&A session that is done for you guys every Thursday. It's done through a GoToMeeting link. That link is on the Cardinal calendar and the Cardinal Nest for you. It's 11 to 12. It's just kind of an open Q&A if you've got questions. If not, I have topics I bring up, and we talk about what's going on, especially for the quarterly challenges or JumpStart specifically. So that's where it's guided to. So you're welcome to join me. All right, so here comes the question. What is your next step? And we're going to go ahead and get into it now. So our words of wisdom is from a book from Brian Tracy called Eat That Frog. And the key to success is action. Oh, wait, I kind of include that in the foundation. The information is no good until you put it into action. And, I still listen to everything under the sun that's out there, and it all comes back to the same. You can listen to this stuff until the cows come home and the moon turns into cheese, but until you take action on what you're learning, then there's a great separation from those that are succeeding and those that are not succeeding in what could be a shifting and changing market. And does our market shift and change? Yeah, it does. Do we get to control it? No, we don't. We can react to the shift and change. And that's what we need to do in order to survive and to sustain in this market. So again, the key to success is action. And I've mentioned this before as a word of wisdom from various classes. The only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. And I've looked it up in multiple dictionaries. It's still the same. Okay, that is the only place that success will come before work. And I was listening to a couple of podcasts as I was driving up here this morning, and they're all talking about what the next 2023 is going to look like for the market. And they're all the quote-unquote other experts that are out there are saying the same thing. The separation is going to come from those who will be willing to roll their sleeves up and start doing the work. So there you have it. Eat the frog. It's also available on audio, so if you want to check it out by audio, you sure can. All right, so let's go ahead and start with where we're going to start. So I got my little balloon here. So in JumpStart Session 1, you learned all kinds of stuff, right? In JumpStart Session 2, you learned a bunch more stuff. In JumpStart Session 3, you learned a bunch more stuff, right? And of course, in JumpStart Session 4, you learned a bunch more. So in this balloon, it's got all the stuff that you've learned. And then, of course, all the other good stuff that goes with it. But is this all divided into sections? No. It's all in there, and it's all mixed up together. Now, what happens is you're going to listen to it. I want y'all to do me a favor. Stop listening to stuff and start studying the stuff. There is a huge difference. So that's my word of wisdom for the day. All right, so you've got all this stuff in here that you've listened to, and hopefully you're learning, but it's not all separate. It all intermixes and comes together. Now, what happens is you go to a class or you listen to something, you got all this great information, you're all excited, and then you go home and find out that kids didn't do homework, dog pooped on the carpet, you just stepped in it, you just had a pedicure, now you're like, you know, not a happy camper. And that's what happens to all the stuff you've learned. It's now deflated over there on the floor. So let's think about it a different way. Yes, there's all your stuff from Session 1. There's all your stuff from Session 2. There's all your stuff from Session 3. There's all your stuff from Session 4. There's all the great stuff that you've learned from David's business planning class. There's all the great stuff that Sarah and Donnie share with you at sales meeting. If this pops, I'm in trouble. Then you've learned all the stuff from Jason or Mark or whoever else, or Casey, that you've listened to online. You've got all this great stuff. Now you've got a bigger balloon that's all nice and pretty. Here's what I want you to do. The difference between listening to it and studying it. When you study it, you've just... Oh, wait, my finger's caught. Hold on. Ouch. Okay. There you have it. Now it's tied down. That is the difference between studying it, implementing it, and just hearing it. So now, there you go. You can take it, you can run with it, and you can actually build out a stronger foundation that's going to withhold. Okay? Give me a thumbs up. You like that one. Okay, good. All right, so today's session, as we've mentioned, is going to be, so you've completed JumpStart Session 3. Now what? Now where do you go and what do you do from there? So that's going to kind of be our focus. In your handout on page 2, and again, the numbers are down there at the bottom, I want to ask you, how many hours a week are you willing to commit to working on your business? Now, session 4, we talked about working on your business versus in your business. This is working on your business, building out your marketing strategies, building out your disciplines of the tasks that you need to do on a regular basis, keeping track of your schedule and the tasks and time blocking things out. How much time are you willing to commit to working on your business? Now, let's say you're a part-time agent and you're going to go, Lynn, I can commit 20 hours. Perfect. And right now you have nothing on your plate for any buyers or sellers. Then you got 20 hours that you need to be focused on working on the business. This is the perfect time to do it. This is absolutely the perfect time to do it. So get all the stuff from sessions 1, 2, and 3, which talks about your database. Get all those pieces together and in place. Now, the question I'm going to ask you is, once you've determined how many hours you're going to commit to the business, when? What are your business hours? Okay, I'm just going to make this up for example. If you're telling me you can do 20 hours and you want to work 9 to 1, rock it. Put it on your calendar and set it to repeat Monday through Friday, 9 to 1. That is your work time. Now, Donnie's always said this, we've always said this. Good news in this business is you get to be your own boss. Bad news in this business is you have an idiot for a boss. I know I just stepped on somebody's toes, but they're laughing in class, so it's good, okay? I don't know how I get myself into this hot water, but you gave me permission, remember? You gave me permission to be blunt and honest with you. Some of you have for a boss, okay? What we lack is the discipline and the structure. And often we lack that because we don't know what to do. And so next thing someone calls and says, hey, you want to go do this? And you're off and running. Okay, there's a sale at Michael's and you got a 50% off coupon. You're gone. Okay, unless you got your name badge on and you're going to do some marketing while you're there, then I'm good because I've done it. So I know it's okay. All right, so when are you going to work? What are your work hours? Put it on your calendar and block it off. Now, if you're one that you know that you're going to be working Saturdays and Sundays and 3 other days during the week, figure out what those days are. Is it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, off Thursday, Friday, work Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? What is it? I don't care what it is. Put it on your calendar, set it to repeat, and have it on there. Now, once you've got that set on there, then you can go in and customize it. We talked about time blocking and the tasks that need to be done and color code it. Make sure you've got your personal stuff in there, your personal take care of yourself time in there, your family time, your walking the dog time, whatever else is on your life that is important to you, just make sure it's being included in there as well. And color code it, because that's going to show really if there's balance or if you're out of balance. I know sometimes we think a whole lot and we're thinking about business all the time, and so we think we're working all the time. There's a difference. So we want to be careful of that as well. And then the last question is, obviously, is it on your calendar? Because if it ain't on your calendar, it don't exist. If you worked for somebody else and you told them that you would be at work from 9 to 1, you best be there from 9 to 1. Now, if you must erase, you need to replace. So let's say something happens and all of a sudden 9 to noon you've got to be at doctor's or whatever comes up, car servicing, whatever, replace it somewhere else. Now, I will tell you on the car servicing stuff, I actually get a lot of work done when I take my car in to be serviced because I can go curl up in a corner with my laptop somewhere, uninterrupted, and get tons done. And that's oftentimes when my mind does its dump. So bloom where you're planted. Take advantage of that. Name tag on, you're good to go. All right, so do all of you have an answer as to how many hours you're committing to working? Because at the end of the class, I'm going to come around and have you include that. What are your commitments? Now, the other question I want to ask you, which is also in your handouts, is when you started in this business, or even now, where do you think your transactions are going to come from? Because guess what? They don't fall from the sky anymore. Okay? You can't find someone who can fog a mirror and buy them a $700,000 house. That doesn't happen in this market anymore. So where did you think your business was going to come from? And based on that, is that where it's actually coming from? Or do you need to rethink just a little bit? Session 4, JumpStart. We talk about the 4 pillars and why it's important to have the various pillars. Okay, you need to know where your business is going to come from. Part of your job is to be the rainmaker. You need to be marketing yourself with what is unique and different that you bring to the table. It is not ego marketing. It's not, I'm great, I'm wonderful, I'm ethical. Because I've never found a buyer or seller that wanted to hire an unethical agent. And if you've got to brag about it, they're going to wonder, why are you bragging about it? Okay? They don't care. It's what's in it for them. What is in it for them? And that's where your marketing message, your unique selling proposition, and your mission statement, your tagline all need to come in from. What's in it for them? What can you provide to them, not you? There we go. Okay. So, what's your next step? Here it is. So picking up where we left off in session 3 of JumpStart, the hidden gems of your database, I want you to take a look at the handout, and I want you to rate yourself. And I want some numbers written down. So the first question that's going to be asked is, how many contacts are currently in your database? Or first off, which database are you using? Are you using KV Core? Are you using another platform? I don't care if it's 3x5 index cards. If you are using 3x5 index cards, you let me know, because I'll tell you how to set up that system. That's where old school pays off sometimes. If you are using a Rolodex, yeah, that's really old school, but I'll show you how to do it. If you're using Excel, I'm okay with that. You could be using Top Producer, All Clients. I mean, there's numerous, but with Samson, you get KV Core. Yeah, and it is free. Now, if you want to go buy KV Core yourself, it's about $500 a month. Did you hear me? Say it again, $500 a month or more for an agent to go to KV Core and get their own subscription. Now you know. Now, I don't think Samson pays that much because they probably have a bulk. I'm just guessing. But still, it is that's the value that it brings. And I know a lot of us have gotten scared over KV Core. But you know what? It's okay. Step back, one step at a time. 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 One little piece. One little piece. One little piece. One little piece. Did I say one little piece yet? One little piece. That is how you put it together. And I am finding out more and more of what KV Core can do. And I know there's a whole bunch of stuff that it can do that it's not even on my radar yet. But start where you're at. Don't just step back and say, I don't get it, I don't understand. No, one little piece. Okay, we talked about that in sessions 1 and 2 of JumpStart. So the question I would ask you to fill out in your handout is, how many A contacts do you have in your database? Hopefully you've already completed and listened to and studied and started implementing the things we talked about in JumpStart session 3 about your database, how to hashtag them. I want to know, how many A clients do you have in there? Those are clients and past clients, and those have referred you. I want to know how many. I don't care if it's 2. I want to know the number. How many B contacts are in your database? How many C contacts are in your database? How many Ds are in there? Here's the zinger. What is your goal for your database? Those that are here with me live after class, that's going to be part of your aha takeaway question. What is your goal? How many do you want in your database to build out? Because then what we're going to do is we're going to break it down. If you have, I'm just going to say 100 in there, and you want 200 in there, And you're going to go, that's 100? And you're going to go, I can't do 100? Yeah, you can. How many weeks during the year? Let's say 50. There's 52, in case you're wondering, and I'm going to give you 2 weeks off. So there's 50 weeks. If you need to add 100 more to your database, shout it out. How many more is that a week that you need to add to your database? 2. 2 a week. That's not even a day. Do you come across 2 living and breathing preferred people? And that's a whole other topic. Do you come across 2 living? They're laughing at me. Do you come across 2 living and breathing people in the course of your week that could potentially benefit from your service? Unless they're living in their car, I don't know, if they just won the lotto and they're living in their car, they could still be a potential buyer, okay? But that breaks it down to the most simplest terms. I want you to see how it just chisels right on down. Okay. So when you take a look at how many you want to add to your database, then you're going to take a look at how many is that a year? How many is that a quarter? How many is that monthly? How many is that weekly? How many is that daily? It breaks down to an itty-bitty amount. So how many of you take vitamins? Give me some thumbs up, okay? Does the bottle say, take the entire bottle the first of the month? Now, I've read a few. Yeah, usually they say 1 a day. So you don't take the whole bottle at once, and that's what some of us, try to do, is we try to eat the elephant all at one sitting. It is 1 a day, 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 1 a day. And then you're going to screw up and do 2 a day. And then you go, well, that was easy. That was fun. Okay, 2 a day, 2 a day, 2 a day. And then it becomes habit, it becomes motion. But if you just focus on the 1, I'll take that any day of the week over an agent who's going to ruffle their feathers up and say, well, I'm going to do 10 a day. No, you're not. More than likely, no, you're not. Now, if you can, knock it out of the park. Go for it. But the reality is I would take someone who will commit to 1 a day because it's realistic, they can focus on it, and then as their momentum gets going, again, you're going to goof up. You're going to hit 2 one day, you're going to hit 3 one day, you're going to hit whatever, whatever, whatever. And all of a sudden, your momentum starts, and you're finding that this was easier than you thought. Think about where you have gone in the course of the week and where you've run across people at. The grocery store, pharmacy, doctor's appointments, cleaners, car wash, auto shop. Do any of you go out to eat at a restaurant? Okay. Have any of you thought, because I just ordered mine, some pins, ink pens that say when your home no longer meets your needs, I'm your go-to source, your name, your email, or your website. And when you go to a restaurant, you leave those, or a couple of them, with the waiter, waitress. Because are they always looking for pins? Yeah. Just thinking out loud. Okay, that ties into the bloom where you're planted. Okay, so the first big piece of your puzzle that we talk about putting together is your CRM. What does a CRM stand for? What is the key word in there? Relationship. Bravo to those who are in class. Yes, it's relationship. Your database is to serve the purpose of allowing you to build out the relationship with the people that are in there, that you know. But more important, do they know you? Do they know what value you bring to them? Do they know what free reports you have available? Do they know that you've got a website that is powerful and has some great information on it? Your CRM stands for Client Relationship Management System. And the key word there is relationship. So again, I don't care what platform you're using, but you better have something. I'm just saying. Okay? The question then comes is when how and with what message are you going to share with them? How often do you currently reach out to those in your sphere? And how often do you want to be able to reach out to them? Okay? Because you can have a great CRM, and if you do nothing with it, give it to me. I'll work it. Okay? So think about how often you reach out, but more important, how often do you want to move forward to reach out? So on your handout, the statement there is, every month, every 4 to 6 weeks, every quarter, every 6 months, or yearly. But here are some options as you're planning your business strategy. Can you make a phone call to those in your sphere? Absolutely. Can you text them? If you've got a phone number, you can. Can you email them? Yes. Can you send them regular mail or snail mail? Yes, you can. And can you do a pop by? Yes, you can. So if you're sitting there going, okay, so I've got all these people, but I don't know what to do with them, there are, which side's the screen on? There you go. You've got 5 options to jog your brain. So you do what you're comfortable with. If all you have is a phone number, then yeah, your phone call or your text message is going to be your starting point. If all you have is an email, that is going to be your starting point. If all you have is a mailing address, that is going to be your starting point. And if you're doing geofarming even, pop-bys, not a bad idea. Okay? So, as you're mapping this out, and hopefully if you've got the handout, you've added these things to your, written them down for your handout. So what is the benefit of staying in touch with your sphere? Very simple. It keeps you top of mind. And again, it's not ego marketing. It is bringing them information of value that's important to them and rotating 3 to 4 messages repeatedly. Now, I'm going to step on some toes, I know, but my class is going, bring it on. Here it comes. All right, so sometimes agents think that their best strategy is to send out a market report every month. I really did that. I can't believe I did that, but I did. Hear my heart, forget my mouth. That was it. Okay. I would, again, just my personal take on this one, and marketing is my background. So I would recommend that needs to be done maybe once a quarter, maybe every, because if that's all they're getting and they're not at that moment have any value to it, in the trash it's going to go. And then I'm going to use my puzzles because they're good. So you just sent them the market report and they don't care about that, so that goes in the trash. Then this next month you're going to send the market report, they don't really care about it, so it goes in the trash. They see your name, automatically goes in the trash, they don't even read your message. Then from there, same thing goes over, and it's, yeah, there we have it. So what are the benefits of staying in touch with your sphere? Obviously, you want to bring them information of value. Does that tie into your mission statement? And hopefully you're using, my mission is to help them protect and maintain the value of their greatest asset, which is their home. Because as we've talked, that opens a floodgate for communication. It doesn't open a door, it opens the floodgates. Because that is probably one of the #1 things we hear out of agents all the time with, I've got my, but I don't know what to say to them. We got you covered. When that mission statement is in place, that opens up floodgates of communication. Because from there, can you do a newsletter? Yes. And you've got 4 or 5 options for newsletters. Are they free? Most of them. We covered that in class. Can you provide them information that will help them protect and maintain the value of their home? Oh, wait, home maintenance tips. Common mistakes that are overlooked. Tips from a home inspector. Can you even recommend that they get a walk and talk home inspection done every 5 years on their home? Yes, you can, and yes, you should. And how many of you are doing it? Not many. You're missing the mark. Because when you offer that as a tip of the month to consider getting a home inspection, and you give 2 or 3 vendors that can do it at a discount for them, especially going into the market that we're going into right now and the season we're going into, they will die for business. So if you ask them if they'll do a walk and talk, just pointing out some things that potentially are starting to go wrong with a home for a reduced fee, because you're not doing a full report, they probably will jump all over it. And if they say no, go find another one, because there's more than one out there. So by bringing that value to your homeowner, when they find out that, oh my gosh, they've got a leak that's starting and they can repair it now for $50, or they can let it go for another year and it's going to be $500, and if they let it go even further in that and it breaks through the second floor and floods, now they got $5,000. Does the minimal cost of a home inspection and a $50 repair make you the hero? Oh, heck yes, it does. Okay, and I see my heads in class nodding. Absolutely it does. So, what's another one that you can do? Bring information of value. Home warranty. Can a homeowner get a home warranty anytime? Yes, they can. Do we have some great partners in the home warranty field? Yes, we do. Reach out to them, get to know who the local rep is, if you can, and find out what are the common mistakes that homeowners make about not having a home inspection, or home warranty, I'm sorry. If they've got a home warranty and something breaks, and anybody who's been in the house for 5 years or more, I would strongly recommend that would be a great tip of the month for them, is the pros and cons of considering getting a home warranty. Because 5 years into it, stuff is not designed to last 40, 50, and 60 years like it used to. Stuff is designed to break, to not to work, break down, break completely, and 5 to 10 years to be replaced. So by offering a suggestion of why it would be beneficial for a homeowner to consider a home warranty when something breaks, and they've got to call in that home warranty company, and they just found out it's going to cost them, and again, I'm just making up the number for the example, it's going to cost them $60 or $120 for a $5,000 repair, who's the hero? You are. Because you're the one that suggested the benefits of, wait for it, helping them protect and maintain the value of their greatest asset, which is their home. Are y'all starting to see where these pieces connect in? Boom. There we go. One of these days I'm going to have to explain to Donnie why I broke my laptop. He was just in here, by the way, so I didn't throw puzzle pieces at him. Okay, so I want you to take a look at what are the benefits of doing these things and the consequences of not doing them. Okay? Ready. Second part of your database, as we talked about in JumpStart, is the transaction partners. Why do you want to have transaction partners as your speed dial? Because, and you want to be really nice to them always, especially at the close of a transaction, because you know what? The next time around, something could go like a little kitty wampus, and you're going to need for them to do you a favor. And if you got with them last time and ripped their head off over something that wasn't their problem, it was yours, that you created. Yes, I said that out loud. Okay? We talked about this fully in session 3. Take really good care of your transaction partners. Oh, yeah. Make sure that you're reaching out to them, especially, I mean, we got Thanksgiving right around the corner. If you haven't sent them thank you cards before, send them one now. Because isn't it a time to acknowledge what you're thankful for? And aren't you thankful for those transaction partners? Because guess what? Y'all can't do a transaction alone. You cannot do it all by yourself. You need them as part of your team. There you go. Okay, now you know about the transaction partners. So that is adding that second piece in to that puzzle. Why is that beneficial? Because the day is going to come that you're going to need them to do you a favor. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. Sorry. Y'all gave me permission. I'm on a roll. It's what it is. Okay. The next part of the important piece of your database is your service providers. And sorry, I have part of your SOI. Yeah. Part of your sphere of influence is your service providers. Now, why is it important to have service providers? Because you want them, your clients, the people that you know in your sphere, to know that you're the go-to source. And wait for it, I just got a message this morning before class from a neighbor who I had invited over with the kids for 4th of July bubble and sparklers in my backyard because we have open yards that feed into each other. And we say hi as we walk the dogs down the street, but she had come down and she had messaged me this morning, says, by chance, do you have a handyman? And I said, what do you need to get done? And she gave me the list and I said, got it. And I did mention to her in the text that I was up north today, that I would get it back ASAP. She goes, you work up north? And I said, well, only 1 or 2 days a week. Now I got to tell her who I was and what I did. So, oops, didn't mean for that to happen, but now she knows, and she's a neighbor. There you have it. So what are the benefits of becoming known as the go-to source? To help them maintain and protect the value of their greatest asset, which is their home. Hello, do you see where these pieces are now all starting to come in and connect with one another? Drop the mic. There you go. All right. The fourth part in your database, as discussed in full detail in our JumpStart Session 3, is why it is important to have other agents in your database. Anyone want to shout out why having other agents in their database would be of value? Referrals from another area, absolutely. Resources, absolutely. What was that? Yep. So we talked about in the Session 3 of the importance of having other agents in, because that builds out your VIP network of other agents. Is that database? I should have lined these up ahead of time because that way I know they would actually connect versus the ones that are on the floor. All right, so the database connects to other agents. That is going to connect to your buyer and seller consultation. What are the perks of having other agents in your database other than being able to go to them and say, part of my VIP networking or part of my VIP service I provide is I tap into my network of other agents. Boom. There you go. See how they connect? See why I said that was important? That is why. Now, if you don't choose to do that part, that's fine. But you better take it out of your buyer and seller consultation because that's something that you can't provide. Is that a mistake? In my opinion, oh yes. Because has it paid off? Oh yes. Does it pay off every time? No. Because nothing pays off every single time. We're looking for that magic bullet, that magic wand, that magic pill that makes it all better. Doesn't exist. But when it does pay off and you're able to have your buyer or your seller connect with a property or a buyer that works for them, you become the golden child. Okay, you see where this connects to that, where that connects to that, and why it's important? Give me some thumbs up and some nods. Yes, okay. Whew, we're good. There's your benefits. Those are your benefits of why it's important to have those as part of your database. Is you can reach out to them and say, hey, I've got a ready, willing, and able buyer looking for this, this, and this. Do you have something? Do you have something coming up? Here's another one. Have you recently had something on the market that has maybe been withdrawn or canceled that meets this criteria? Hello? BV and COLA, think outside the box. Bam. There you go. Those are some of the benefits. This is where the work comes in. But it's not that difficult, and it doesn't cost you a whole lot, if anything, to do it. Okay? All right. Deep breath. Where do we go next? So let's say that you've already got all that together, and you're ready to go. Okay, I've got my database together. I'm good. I got this. I got this. I got this. I need additional support. Okay, I've got this great database, but I don't know what to say. So we've already done a class on conversation starters. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with scripts. There are in my opinion, very few things where an actual script becomes valuable. Now, I will full disclosure, and give credit where credit is due. Joe Stump with By Referral Only, who I coached with for a couple of years, and then became one of his spokesmen for a while. Joe's uniqueness was neurolinguistics. So it was about putting in keywords strategically placed in a conversation or a sentence that gave a larger impact. So when I've given you something, I will usually again, I'm going to give credit where credit was due. I didn't make it up. I learned it, but when I used it, it was a game changer. And I will show you exactly which words are the ones that pop. So there you have it. Scripts are great if both people have the script and both people are reading the script, when they're in conversation. Does that work all the time? No, because most of the time the other person doesn't have the script that you have. So they ask a question, throws you totally off track. But what I love to educate you on is conversation starters, especially with holidays right around the bend, and you're going to be spending more time with different people and interacting. I would really encourage you to go back and listen to some of that, study it, and then ask yourself what sentence, what comment can I embed into my vocabulary to make it just flow out smooth as silk. Here's a tip. If you've got one that you're wanting to be top of mind and kind of, you're kind of working on, whether it be your mission statement, your tagline, whatever, put it on a Post-it note, stick it on your dashboard, and every time you have to stop, look up at it and run it. Run it verbally, run it through your head. Now, whether you're on the freeway, yeah, sometimes you got to stop. Yeah, I know. Sometimes you're at a stop sign. Can't delay there too long, or a stoplight. Take those minuscule moments to get that coming out of your mouth, and that it flows just like honey. Honey doesn't flow really well, so butter maybe, okay? But you understand the point there, okay? You want it to be able to flow. You want to be able to have it said over and over again. So again, it just becomes second nature to you. I can't tell you how many times I have said, my mission is to help you protect and maintain the value of your greatest asset, which is your home. I have the cadence down, I have the tone down, I've said it a million times, and I've made a lot of money off of it. There you be. So if you're struggling on, okay, so I've got the database, but now what? Reference to the conversation starters and study that. Make yourself some Post-it notes. Now, if you've got the Post-it note on your dashboard and it's covering up your odometer and you get pulled over for speeding, just tell the police officer that you were practicing your conversation starters and scripts because you're a real estate agent with Samson Properties, and he could need a realtor. You never know, and you may get a ticket, but at least you could get a client out of it. I'm just saying, bloom where you're planted. Okay, so have some fun with it as well. But seriously, if you do, not a good idea. But you do want to have it up on your dash so it's there, it's visual. Now, I do know that sometimes people will put it up on their mirrors in the bathroom. So while they're doing hair, teeth, whatever, they're running those scripts, their conversation starters in their head while they're brushing their teeth, doing their hair, doing their makeup, whatever it is. Just have it wherever you're going to be until it just flows and becomes second nature. There's all kinds of great points and talking points mapped out for you in the Conversation Starter class. I hope you go check it out. All right, now you're going, okay, Lynn, we've got that puzzle piece, we got that puzzle piece, we got that puzzle piece. All right, I'm working on that, got that, but what do I send out? I don't know what to send out. Oh, wait, we've got that mapped out for you too. In the How to Leverage Your Free Reports newsletter and your website, boom chakalaka, there it is. That is where you're going to get ideas on free reports. Yes, we even have a bunch of free reports already done for you that are loaded up. It's going to talk about the newsletter. Yes, Samson offers you a free newsletter. You just have to take Donnie's picture off it every month and his contact information. But again, in less than 5 minutes, you can have ready to print a free newsletter. Then you can leverage it. Leveraging is all about taking something that's already there and getting the maximum results with it. There are other free newsletters out there, and we go through 3 or 4 of them in this particular video training. We talk about how to add stuff to your website. Do you have a website? If you're with Samson, the answer is yes. Shake your head this way. That way when it falls off, you can catch it. There you go. Very good. Class is doing great. They're laughing at me still. But you know, I'm good. But you have this amazing tool. You want to be able to send people to your website to get information of value. Because guess what? If they come home and they've gotten something in the mail from you and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, they're a little tipsy-rudo, you do not want them calling you. So do not say, call me now, because you don't want them calling you. Because they may forget it's 2 o'clock in the morning and they're drunk, and they may call you. It happens. See, straight out of class, it happens. Well, your sign said, call me now. Seriously, we can't make this stuff up. Okay. So learning what tools are already there for you, you do not need to reinvent the wheel. Research and development, R&D, also stands for rip off and duplicate. You do not need to reinvent the wheel. Okay, I'm going to step on toes again, but y'all gave me permission. You do not need to necessarily write your own newsletter. Start with one that's already available. Get the momentum going on it. You do not, yeah, granted right now you got 2 hours, you can, I'm trying really hard. Yeah, you may have 2 hours to blow off trying to write your own newsletter right now, but once your momentum gets going and the business starts coming in, I'm sorry, you do not have an extra 2 hours to spin your wheels on writing a newsletter, because guess what? Most of them don't care. Amen. It's coming from class. Yes. Amen. Okay, so use what's already there. Use what's free and available to you. Then later you can do, customized stuff if you, this is still not a good idea. All right? Use what's there. Use what Samson has already given you, and use what's already out there for free. Now, your home warranty companies, do they have good stuff on their website? You bet they do. I just saw 2 hands go up and 2 big thumbs up went with it. Absolutely they do. So if you have not gone and taken a look at what your favorite home warranty company has to offer on their website, go check it out. There's some good stuff. And as long as you are giving them credit, copy, paste, stick it in your blog. Do you have a blog? Yes, you do. It's on your website. Just saying. Okay? Because I can't tell you, I don't have a blog. Yeah, you do. The tab on your website. Go look. It's there. Is it easy to copy and paste something? Oh, heck yes. Less than 30 seconds, maybe a minute if you're slow and pokey. It is not that difficult to do. And if this non-techie can figure it out, you can too. Or you ask me for instructions and I'll give them to you, because I've already prepped them. See, that's how you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. That's how you conquer KV Core, one task at a time. Boom, we're good. All right. So let's say you're going, okay, Lynn, I'm good. I'm getting all this. I've got my free reports. I got my newsletter. I got my monthly contacts. I know, I'm rotating messages. It's all good, and I've got my systems down. Everything's going. But how do I create that wow? Because we want that wow factor so that we can hopefully up our odds of referrals, or to create that wow factor with a client so they're going to go, holy smokes, they knocked it out of the park. Because just to do a good job on the transaction and the contract is not good enough anymore. They expect you to do a good job. That's a given. You need to knock it out of the park with a wow. And you're going, but Lynn, I'm not creative. I just, that's just not me. That's okay, I am. And we've got it all mapped out for you. Yes, I'm hearing yes. All right. So you just look up the Creating the Wow Factor class that we've done, and there you have it. It is all mapped out for you. Everything from working with kids to, again, just extra little things that anybody can R&D, rip off and duplicate, can do that doesn't cost a whole lot of money to do it. Okay? We good? Yeah. We're good. There you have it. All right. So then the question is, okay, we're on a roll. What comes next? I would absolutely, if I could get on my knees and gracefully get back up, I would do it. If not, it's not going to be pretty. These knees have danced for years, and yeah, they're paying off now. Whew. All right. David does an amazing mastermind class. I would absolutely encourage you to go take a look on the Cardinal Nest on the calendar. Find David's mastermind class that's done by Zoom. You can be at anywhere you want to be. You can be at the beach with your feet up in the sand for all I care, with the cabana boy bringing you a margarita. Listen to those, join in and absorb it. He has got some great stuff that he's sharing. The other one that I am now obsessed with. I don't want him to know that I'm absolutely in love with this man now. I'm just, and I'm just gonna put it out there. I am so glad that I get to see him, but he doesn't get to see me. Okay, this is Casey Samson in the Coffee with Casey. Oh my word. Now, the reason I am thrilled that he's not able to see, that it's not the two-way, is because I have now become obsessed with connecting this while I'm putting this all together. You don't want to see this not put together. I'm just saying. They're laughing at me. Not pretty. I mean, it's not pretty now, but it's not pretty then. So, thank you. But I will kick it on my phone, and I will listen to it while I'm getting it all together. It gets my energy, my inspiration, just phenomenal information. So here's a couple I'd give a shout out to. If you have not gone in to Samson University and looked up Coffee with Casey, I'm going to encourage you to do it. As I say, if I could get down on my knees and beg, I would do it if I could get up ladylike. One I will give a shout out to, October 27th, he did a recording, it's a podcast platform. He did it on things that are kind of going in the shifting market and why it is beneficial for a seller, or why you need to be able to talk to your seller about doing a pre-home inspection. Now, back in the day, yeah, we used to always encourage our sellers to do a home inspection because we were then allowed to promote that a home inspection's been done, because that's usually the home inspection or the financing is what's going to cause the transaction to fall apart. Oftentimes that home inspection will be a deal breaker. So we used to always encourage our sellers to pay to have a home inspection done, and if there was anything major, then either adjust a price if we had to, or get it done, get it repaired. Casey put a whole new spin on it. I sat there and went, I literally had to put my jaw back in place. I'm not going to tell you what it was, but you need to go listen to it. It was good, especially going into the market that we're going into. It was like, yes, yes, okay? I was listening to one this morning as I was driving up, and he was talking about, other things going on in the market and agents and blah, 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 blah. And one of the things that he said that was my moment was about doing where you can text an agent and get a CMA on their property. He dropped the BS bomb. I did the happy dance. I'm thinking, I really do love this guy. And he doesn't even know I have a crush on him now. So don't tell him, because I'd be embarrassed next time I see him. All right, so he drops out when I'm going, yes! Because can you give an accurate CMA just off the top of your head? No, you can't. Because it's location, amenities, condition of the amenities. We've talked about that in the buyer and seller class as well. And when he did it and then dropped the BS bomb on it, I thought, yep, good stuff, please. And they're, 30 minutes maybe-ish? Oh my gosh, yeah. So take advantage of the wisdom that's already out there. The other one I'm going to promote is sales meetings. If you are not attending either live, because I know that we've got a big platform and there's traffic between point A and point B, they're on the Nest. You can watch them live. You want to have some fun? Get your coworkers at your office together and start doing office watch parties again. Have your aha takeaway from it. Get your gang back together and start doing them again back in the office. Listen to them on the go. There is powerful information that Donnie and Sarah share. They do not do those sales meetings for their own, ego and their own, No, they do it for you guys. And there is great information that is brought to the table about new systems and new things we have, about new, updates from the lender, from, First Heritage, from Cardinal Title. That information comes in. Now, I can't believe I'm going to say this. Don't tell Donnie. But if you need to fast forward past the front where all the accolades are being given and unless you're in there, you want to hear. Okay. The meat and potatoes of the middle, do not miss. Again, if you worked for anybody else, would you be expected to show up and know what's going on from the company meetings? Yes, I'm hearing yes. They're right. All the time. Yeah, you don't show up, you're going to be looking for a job and updating your resume shortly. Okay? So don't think that the sales meetings are just a rah-rah session. There's powerful stuff in there. And if those that are going through the challenge right now, I ask, if you're watching it online, I want to know you're watching it online. I ask you usually 3 or sometimes 4 questions of things that were brought up within the sales meeting. So again, it's powerful and valuable information. Don't blow it off. Okay? Don't blow it off. So in the build out of what's next, there you go. There's some of the major key takeaways. You need to know what's going on within the company. You need to know what's going on in the market. You need to know what's going on with any changes in title or in the lenders and the this and the that. It's all powerful. Casey's got some, we all have some good stuff that we're all bringing to the table and merging it together to support one another. It's not one speaker against another speaker. It's all connected and intertwined. So, want to know what your next step is? There's a couple of them. Okay. Now, I'm going to say many companies, they gloat about, they have this great library of 500 hours of training information. You know me and my puzzle pieces. Because most of it is like, okay, that's great, but where does this piece fit into this piece, and this piece doesn't go with this, and so the agents are going, but what? They walk away. Or the way they have it set up is a game of hide and seek. Because you could spend 3 hours looking for something and can't find it. Yeah. I will tell you what Samson, and I'm so proud to be part of this company. One of the things that they are really working on is bringing together in Samson University, making it very easy to find what you're looking for. We are going to be building out, and you'll be hearing this term more and more, learning trails. This class today is part of that learning trails series. So we always encourage you to start with JumpStart, go through sessions 1, do the tasks. Session 2, get the task done. Session 3, yeah, it's going to be a powerhouse. Session 4 is going to be a powerhouse. But then once you've got it done, as we've just gone through today, is now that you've finished session 3, where do you go next? Reinforcing why it's important to build out those different pillars. And then once I've got it, but I don't know what to say, here's the class that supports that. I don't know what to send. Here's the class that supports that. I don't know where to get additional information. Here's the class that supports that. That is the learning trail. Out, down, and over. Okay? Can we all say that is flippin' awesome? Flippin' awesome. Flipping. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Flipping awesome. There you have it. Okay. Hopefully Donnie heard that. All right. Here's one of your tasks I want you to do. You've been working on your database. You've been looking at it seriously. I'm going to challenge you to have a meet me for coffee. Now, it can be ice cream. It can be, and I know it's cold, but it's okay. You can still do ice cream anytime. It could be coffee. It could be tea. It could be a smoothie. It could be whatever. Take advantage of this time and say, hey, I'd love to meet for coffee. I haven't seen you in a while. It's a 30-minute meet and greet. Now, it is not drink until we're oblivious at happy hour because it's 2 for 1. Here's some general rules on your meet and greet. You want to make sure that it is preferably Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday is recommended as the best. We've got this mapped out on page 5 of your handout for you. I also want you to make the list right there of who are the top 10 that you want to meet and greet with, that you want to reconnect with. And the reason for this is because we have lost that personal touch with a lot of people over the last couple of years. And all the experts, I don't know if I consider myself an expert, but all those that are doing and are giving the projections for this next year of what needs to be done, they're all saying we need to reconnect. We absolutely need to reconnect and replug in. So I want you to take a minute on page 5 of your handout is to write down the top 10 that you can pop to mind that have either been a phenomenal client, have been a referral source for you. If they did it once, they'll do it again. That you think, okay, they've been on my radar for buying, but because of the market being so competitive, they didn't buy and they pulled out. Okay? When you re-listen to Coffee with Casey and he talks about why this is a good time to buy, when you listen to sales meetings and they talk about why this is a good time to buy, there's some talking points that you now have to go have that conversation with them. Make that list of the 10. Now, ultimately, you want to do 20 to 25. But right now, start with 10. And then I want you to either text them or call them or email them and says, hey, it's been a while. Would love to reconnect. I'd love to treat you to a coffee. Are you available Tuesday or Wednesday? Make sure it's not during the time of my class. Now, after class is fine. But find out when you can connect with them. You just want to connect. Okay? 30 minutes. Now, I love it because Sarah has even talked about, she'll do a coffee marathon where she'll be at Starbucks and she'll just hit one right after the other. Okay, now she'll leave a few minute break in case someone's running over or someone's, gets there early, but just to reconnect. Now, hopefully she's not drinking coffee the entire time because she'll be bouncing off the wall, but they have water, they have other drinks in there as well. But utilize that resource that you already have of people that know you. Reconnect with them. Okay? Now, on page 5 of your handout, we talk about, and again, this is a Joe Stump technique. I'm going to give credit where credit was due. Was at the end of the conversation with them, you're going to say, you know, embedded command. And if you've got a highlighter, lip liner, lip crayon, whatever, even though I have it bold, italic, and underlined for you, those are the embedded commands. You know, I am your go-to source for anything real estate related. You know that my mission is to help you protect and maintain the value of your greatest asset, which is your home. Katie, can I ask you a question? Now, what that has done is it's brought her attention back, him or her, back into you. And they now reconnected, their brain's going, okay, I'm listening. I'm giving you permission to ask me a question. Then you can use the word someday or eventually. They both are interchangeable. Someday, you or someone you know is going to need some help with something real estate related. When that happens, are you comfortable? Key word there, comfortable. Introducing them to me. That way, I get to interview with them to make sure I'm the right match for what they need. We did not say refer. Are you comfortable introducing them to me? That way I can do a quick interview with them, find out what their needs are specifically, and make sure I'm the right match. They will typically then say yes, because you're doing a gentle nod of the head as you're saying that. They will say yes. Your response is promise and shush. There will usually be a silent giggle for a moment, and they say, great. Now, what is happening in their brain? Their brain is taking, I know they're my go-to source. I know they're there to help me. Someday I'm going to come across someone that's going to need some help, and I made a promise. That is why that end word, after they say yes, you respond promise, pinky swear, zip. Because their brain is embedding that into their brain. And what does information do in our brain? It replays 10,000 times. And the embedded neuro-linguistic command is, I made a promise. More than likely, they will remember that. Can we all say wow? Wow. There you go. There you have it. Once you have completed that, you will do a quick follow-up with a handwritten note, or if you don't have an address, an email. I've got the example of what to say on page 6 of your handouts as well. Again, it just reconfirms back what they just promised to do for you. Does it work? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it does. Okay? All right. Bottom of page 6, I've asked you how much money you've left on the table by not staying in touch with your sphere. Because according to some national stats, every person knows 3 to 5 that need to buy or sell in the course of a year. And if you've not stayed top of mind with information of value, with what you can do for them, and you've slipped off the radar, you've missed that money. And in one of the classes, we went through literally the numbers. It's between 80,000 and 150,000 that you have left behind, ignored, lost, because you didn't stay in touch. I know y'all need a trash can right about now. Your stomach just did a little back handspring and went, oh, what could you have done with an extra $50, $80, $100, $150,000? What could you have done or could do with that extra? Okay? This is why we talk so much about the importance of your database, your sphere of influence, building it out, staying in touch with information of value, not ego marketing. Why is that so important? Now you know. Yeah, Because then once that money floats away, you've lost it. All right, so the bonus I have for you is on page 7 of your handouts. We talked about the benefits of having service providers, and here on page 7, boom, I've given you a list. Not of the actual service provider, but of the categories in which you would want to consider building out your service providers. And again, in JumpStart Session 3, the full recording, we actually talked in more detail about what to say when you call those that are in your sphere. Hey, I'm working on a project, I need your help. Who have you recently used that you would A, use again and recommend? Because as you know, I'm often asked for recommendations. Now, I can't believe that somebody actually asked me this one time, but they said, well, what if the person does a crummy job? It's like, okay, first off, think about it. If they did a crummy job, do you think someone you know is going to give you the name of someone who did a crummy job? No, because it's going to reflect back on them. More than likely, and again, you've asked them who did a good job, who you would use again. That's a pretty good recommendation. It's okay. There you have it. You always want to have a couple to give for recommendations so they can interview them and decide who best fits what they're needing. There's the bonus. All righty. As we wrap up, I always like to share with you what's on my bookshelf. This is a new one. It's called Eat That Frog. Well, it's not new. It's been around for a while. Eat That Frog, 21 Great Ways to Stop Procrastination and Get More Done in Less Time. Brian Tracy has been, I've been a fan of his for a long time. He's got some great words of wisdom. He's got this very soothing voice as he speaks. I did find out the audio is available on YouTube. You can go in and check it out and listen to him. It is one of those ones you want to listen to it, and then you want to go back and listen to it and take notes. So for those that are in class today, I'm going to get your name on the back of my puzzle pieces as we do our aha takeaway, and then I'm going to put you in the roof of my little house, and then I will have a drawing for, you're laughing at me, we're going to have a drawing for the book.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so eat that frog, and don't kiss them because they're yucky. All right, so as we're preparing your aha, your takeaway, there you have it. You now know where you need to go after session 3 of JumpStart. These are things that can build out, strengthen your business, and boom, drop the mic. There it was. So I'm going to back that up because I want you all to see this slide. Ready? Drop the mic. Boom. There you have it. Okay. Always think outside the box as long as it's legal, ethical, and moral. Be that Uncola. Do what other agents, yes, I'm going to say it again, are too lazy to do. Especially going into a little more of a challenging market where you got to roll your sleeves up and actually get to work. Be creative. What are you doing that somebody else is not doing? And we've provided you tons and tons and tons of great tips and ideas, and it'll probably, if you're creative as well, it'll probably springboard off a couple of other ideas for you as well. Okay? Get your aha, get your takeaway together. Again, thank you always to Cardinal. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being online with us. Thank you for watching the replay. Take this information and put it into action. Again, I don't care what you know. I want to know what you're doing with what you know. So with that, let's get our aha, let's get our takeaway. I'm going to hand, Justin, if you will, please, the little puzzle pieces. And so if you can just hand them to them and put their name on the back of the puzzle piece and get it back to me. We'll find out who's going to win our, no, you can't have a couple. See the fun you miss when you're not in class? Okay, aha takeaway. Lourdes, let's go ahead and start with you. What was your aha takeaway from today?
The many ways that we can stay top of mind with clients, and how easy it is to build my database by doing one a day.
One a day. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Pass it on back. There you go.
My aha moment is the daily input. The only reason I'm saying it is because read through and I started doing it. So for the last 2 weeks, I've been implementing 3 a day, and I've been doing 3 a day, and I haven't missed yet. So that's what I want to say. It works. I actually gotten more business. I get a lot of, man, where you been?
Where you been? Yeah.
Where you been? And the conversation starts from there. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, excellent. Isn't it nice when they look at you and go, where you been? I missed you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, tells you a lot. All right, thank you. You're up, ma'am.
My brain's really working. One of the things is most of my listings have actually been investment properties, and then I would kind of think, oh, they're done with me. We sold that property. They're done. I need to really stay in touch with those clients. They have homes. So that was one, and I'm making lots of connections. I'm glad you mentioned not to do the marketing reports every month, because KV Core has it set up where the max is 28 days.
I know.
Yeah, so you might want to talk to KV Core, Lynn.
I know.
And, so I'm glad you said that, because as I was setting it up, I even thought they don't need this that often. Yeah. So, but I've got other good notes too, and thanks for reminding me. I actually have the book about the Rainmaker. So thank you.
You're welcome. John.
All right, so my takeaway, while I've done the coffee challenge in the past and it's been good, I really like the script that you provided here. That script is very different, unique, and powerful.
That's a big piece of puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big piece of puzzle. Yeah. You can pay me $3,000 for that.
Okay.
All right. That's about what it cost me to learn that one. But I made plenty more in return. So excellent. Okay, so Justin, do you have my puzzle pieces? Can you go ahead and just pick one? Pick one at random. Shake it up.
Shake the roof.
Shake it up.
Set the roof on fire, Justin.
John, woohoo! This is perfect. Okay, so John will get a copy of the Eat That Frog. I hope that you will enjoy it. I expect to see it all colored up with highlighted stuff in there. And with that, you guys are awesome. Again, thank you for joining me live. Yay, thank you. And thank you for joining me on streaming and or on replay. Go out and make it wonderful. Be great, be wonderful. Put it into action. Rock the house. We'll see you next time. Bye. See you next time in class. I got to go. Bye.